Hi, this is poolstudents.net. I'm Michael Alamir with Trace Keene here to do some commentary on another one pocket match. It's Brandon Shuff and Alex Pagulayan playing in Northern California early 2011. This was getting near the finals of this particular tournament. I've watched Brandon Shuff play a few times, and I've never really been able to put a handle on defining what his game is. Trace, have you seen him play?
Yeah, in fact, I played Brandon. I played him in the 2004 2005 U.S. Open one pocket at the Plaza. And at that time, he was really up and coming 9-ball player. His game was really coming on. He was just starting to get ready to play with the pros. And he had just started taking up one pocket then. And it was one pocket was a little bit rough, but that was 6 years ago. And he's been playing a lot of one pocket. And he does real well at the Derby and at the bigger one pocket tournaments.
You don't see many people break from this side. I wonder if he's left-handed. No, I mean, sorry.
Looks like he's right-handed, Mike.
I'm looking at the screen backwards. We're not even going to reshoot this because I'm always making mistakes. So, whoops, I was cross-eyed there. Not a great break.
Not a great break. Brandon has a lot of options here. There's a lot of space. He can see all the balls that are close to Alex's pocket. He's gonna look around to do do something real powerful here and get Alex in some trouble. We've got kind of a low angle on this screen, so it's hard to see what he can do with the balls on top of the stack.
Will you play off the one ball here?
Yeah, it looks like he can probably, he can shoot for his hole, try to play the one into the three, or maybe the one passes. And but he wants to get his cue ball up there by the 5 ball. You want to play it with the right speed, just like he has right there, that if he doesn't make it, the ball's real close and Alex is hidden by the stack.
And in one shot, Alex is in a lot of trouble.
Well, I would say he's in a little bit of trouble. He's got a ball close to the hole, but it looks like it's laying on the rail. So if Alex puts him up in the top corner pocket on Brandon's side of the table, he really can't shoot at the one ball. And looks like Alex is going to be able to bank oh, he just kicked at the 3. I think he was probably trying to go hit the other side of the 3 and bank it to his hole and go up table with the cue ball. But he just misjudged that angle. But there's not a lot of balls that look like they go into Brandon's pocket, so he's looking at the rack, see if there's any dead balls there, to look and see if that 3 ball will pass the stack. So probably he's going to look to just make the 1 and go up and maybe bank the 3 towards his hole and stick Alex in the pack.
Oh, this could be a sweet shot.
Nope, going up and down for the 1 ball. Look out, corner pocket. She hit it perfect.
How do you rank that shot as far as degree of difficulty?
That shot is something that you really, really got to practice. You know what you're trying to do, but just little bit changes in the way you stroke the ball and where you hit the cue ball make big end results on where the cue ball winds up finally. So you just really, really, really have to practice that shot and see what little changes will do.
I have to think he's practiced that a lot because he just stepped up and hit it. Brandon doesn't like the powder. It's right on the table.
No, he looks a little bit tense, a little bit nervous in this match, He's a really, really solid player, but, when you're playing Alex Pagulayan, who's one of the top 5 players in the world in all games, you're going to be a little bit nervous. You can see he's kind of fidgety there while he's playing, and combination was dead. But has he got any other shots? Can't tell whether the 3 passes or not. So he's going to make the 3 and go to the 15.
Ooh.
Whoop. very careless mistake there.
If he makes it, he doesn't scratch, I guess, but he missed it by a little bit.
Well, he hit the ball thicker than he wanted to, and then he went into the side pocket. If he would have hit it thinner, he would have came on this side of the side pocket and would have had position on the 15. But he hit it just a little thicker than he wanted to.
In some ways, the rack is tilted a little bit towards Alex.
Yeah, Alex looks like he's got the favorite of it because of the 10 ball, the 13 ball look like they might go, and maybe the 8 and 7 might go over there. And if you can make one of those balls, you can push more balls towards your hole. So it looks like Alex is going to try to make this and go to the side rail, the end rail, and then over somewhere by the 15 ball to start to work on the rack. Up, he just went one rail.
Interesting thing about Alex is he's such a thinker. He stops playing and just thinks it till he's satisfied with whatever he's wants to do.
Well, when you start playing really, really good pool, it's mostly in your brain, and he's using his brain for that. You know, if you're just trying to go on natural talent, that's only going to get you so far, and you gotta really stop and think about what you're doing to beat these great champions or to become a great champion like Alex. So it looks like he wants to shoot that 7, but it's really, really dicey. It looks like if he makes the 7, he can go into the balls and open them up a little bit, and then start going to town. But it looks like it's too close for him to shoot, so he's going to make the 2 and maybe go up for the 5 there. Well, whatever he did, he didn't like the results. He didn't get the desired angle on that 7 ball up there.
It's interesting how some of these guys, when they don't get it perfect, they agonize, and then they just step up and hit the next shot after when they're ready. Oh, there goes agonizing again.
Again, it doesn't look like he's got that angle that he wants to go into those balls and move them around a little bit so he can get all the total 8. It looks like Brandon's got 2 balls, and there's 3, 6, 9, 10. So Alex has 3 in the pocket. He needs 5. It looks like the 10's available.
All this agonizing, I bet he gets pretty close to running out. I guess this shot is important.
Well, he really spanked that ball, put a lot of twist on it. And so when he has to shoot that ball hard with a lot of twist like that, that's going to change your aim point on that ball he just made. So when you try that at home, you'll notice you'll be missing that shot unless you change your aim point on that shot. Nice little combination there. Now he's starting to loosen up. He's getting closer to the end zone. So I think he just needs just one more ball. Oh, he needs 2. Yeah, that's right. Up for the 5. Should be no problem. Real easy to keep your cue ball safe and send the ball to the hole. Sometimes you have a little trouble at the end of the game making that game ball, and you'll miss it and sell out some balls, and then all of a sudden the guy's back in the game when you should have won it. But Alex put it in the hole, and he gets game 1.
Well, he had about 5 pounds of agony and being mad at where he shot the ball and everything else, and then he just runs out.
Brandon looks like he's wearing a kilt. So Brandon's a right-handed player. Where's he going to break from?
I'm not speaking anymore on that subject. What is he trying to do when he does that?
I think he's just trying to clean the chalk off the ball so that he doesn't get a skid.
Wonder where I can get a carpet for my living room that like the one they have.
You can just go down and get some scrap pieces and put them all together. Well, he's got a real good break open of the balls. There's a lot of loose balls on Brandon's side. He hasn't sold out the corner ball to Alex, but Alex also has a lot of options. He can. There's no ball that's really close to Brandon's side, and if he gets down there by Brandon's corner, Brandon doesn't have any ball to just an easy back bank over to his hole. So Alex can do a lot of things here, which is the right one that he can execute the best and put Brandon in the most trouble and get himself out of the most trouble.
So in this situation, you're thinking about, one, getting a ball to your side, two, getting behind one of his balls or locking onto the back of one of his balls, somehow getting offense but also locking him up on defense.
Yes, sir. You're trying to move as most balls as you can out and keep him from seeing the balls that you move to his side, to your own side. But it's looking, the way he's looking around now, he just hasn't come up with any real super power shot. And, well, now it looks like maybe he's going to shoot that 5 and then stick him on top of the rack. But it looks like the angles just aren't there for the speed of that shot. So he can do something right here. He can do something real easy, but and get to the next inning. But Alex is the kind of player that wants to keep the pressure on you. So that's why he's continually looking at doing something a little bit more. But when you get a little bit more, it's all of a sudden it's a greater chance for making an error too.
Well, it's an interesting part of the game because so often beginners like me are just trying to get to the next inning, and you accept a shot that allows them to do something better back to you.
Yeah, you see there, he really didn't have anything that they could execute where he felt real confident about, and so he played something real simple, and you could describe it as kind of a weak shot. And what he's done there is maybe allowed this 4-ball to be banked over to Brandon's side of the table, and Brandon can probably get up onto the 14 ball. It may be sitting, I can't really tell from here, it may be sitting on a kiss. And so it's a little bit funny because he hasn't just jumped up and shot it. So Alex did pretty good there. He wasn't happy when he left the table because he was shaking his head, but as we've seen in the last game, that he's not easily pleased.
Yeah, Brandon's not nearly as deliberate a player, so if he's not shooting, he's not liking.
So now Brandon's apparently he doesn't have anything real easy. So now he's got to look and try to find the best shot that he can keep Alex from moving balls away from his side of the table on the next time. So he may just do something real simple like trying to kick behind the 4-ball. He wants to make sure that he puts Alex real close to a ball so that he can't see Brandon's side of the table.
these shots early on where there's so many options to hit a ball, an easy shot. Uh, it's interesting that he's given so much time to this because you can lose a big portion of the game right here if you don't make a good shot.
Yeah, he knows he's got to really come with something because he's got a nice position here because he's got a lot of open balls by his side of the table, and he knows that he has to keep Alex from getting at those balls.
I've got to think more at this stage of the game because I'm apt to, by this time, just shoot something just to get to the next shot, and it costs me.
I don't know whether Brandon's the type of guy that might just take a deliberate foul, but he could maybe just look at kicking his ball somewhere up table, and next time he comes, he might have a little bit better action. So what's he finally decided on?
That's pretty sweet.
Real nice, real nice. Ball hangs up, and he had his cue ball real good there.
He was probably worried about not getting the cue ball perfectly into that spot because either way he could make a mistake there. If he went higher with the cue ball so where the cue ball looks like it's in the perfect spot, anywhere else it's not working.
Mm-hmm. And he got that ball real close to the hole where Alex doesn't have a return bank on it, and so Alex right now has to make Brandon's ball and then keep him off from banking that one ball back into Brandon's hole. So he'll probably try to make this 4 ball and take the cue ball into the rack, but he can't get it too high because then Brandon can shoot that 5 ball.
So that shot, Brandon was trying to control 4 balls, basically. I mean, he wanted everything to end up the way it ended up. Otherwise, one of them could have screwed it up.
Yep.
So that was must have been what all the worry was.
That's why he was taking all that time. You got to, when you're playing a complex shot, you got to give your brain time to analyze it, look it over, and figure it out. Real nice shot by Alex there. He's kept Brandon off of that. Is that the 1 ball on the side rail there? He's given Brandon a bank on the 9 ball up by the side pocket, which is a pretty high percentage shot for 1 pocket players. I mean, if I guarantee you that if Alex had a whole bunch of balls by his hole and Brandon couldn't get at it, he would love to have this shot and consider himself the favorite to make it. But right now he's doesn't have the gun to his head, so he can look around and see what other kind of shots he has. And the important thing here is to get the 1 ball or that 9 ball by the side pocket close to his hole, and he wants to put Alex almost straight in on the end rail so that if Alex does go shoot for his hole, he doesn't have any options for playing position, and all he's going to get is 1 ball if he elects to shoot at his hole. It looks like Brandon could even kick at this 1 ball to the up by the nameplate because it's off the rail a little bit. If you hit it, he's going for the bank, and he played all out 100% to make the bank because you see he's left his cue ball where it was way off the rail, and Alex would have had a little he had a lot of little angle and could have done a lot of things for position. But he dedicated 100% to make that bank, and he's been rewarded for it. So he's got 2, and he's got 4 loose on his side. So he can get to 6, maybe bank that 1 ball, and then hold his cue ball to get that stripe on the end rail to finish himself off. So he'll probably go 6-5. And then maybe if he's got an angle, he'll go back for that, maybe let's call it the 12 ball that's up on top of the 5. He'll go back for that or for the 3 ball. But if not, he'll just roll forward and come a little bit under the 1 ball and back bank it to his hole and then have the 3 and the 12. But it looks like he's going to go to the side rail and out. And he would like to have been closer to the Alex's side, but I think this is real workable. Just some draw. Now kind of a little tester shot right here. You know, these shots, you expect to make them, but the speed is a little bit funny because you got to go up and down. You got to hit it harder than you want to, but he's hit it perfect. And so now he can either make this ball and go into the stack and hope that he's going to get a shot, or he can draw away from it and play real conservative, because if he would have missed, whoop, that makes an 8 for him, so he doesn't need that last ball there. So game 2 to Brandon.
It's interesting how deliberate. I mean, he really slowed down, and it was almost like he was playing a different game, a different type of game. It was almost like a straight pool game there, where he had to maneuver through all that stuff to get his shots.
Yeah, there was a lot of ways to run those balls, and I bet if he would have told you how he was going to run them on the first ball, he didn't actually run them the way he wanted to, but he always kept himself where he had plenty of options, and his cue ball was never getting on the rail, and he was always out where he could make a good bridge. So those things lend themselves to running a lot of balls.
It's interesting too to me that how they keep their rhythm when they're playing so slow. A lot of players just have to shoot fast to stay in the rhythm, but they were both very comfortable with a slow pace.
Okay, Alex changed sides on his break, and he got a little bit better break than he had last time. He's got the 9 ball over by his pocket.
What are the factors that cause that ball to jump to your side when you don't want it to? When you're breaking from that side and the ball goes towards your hole.
Your opponent's hole?
No, to your hole. When that corner ball that comes out sometimes towards the pocket, you don't want it to be.
Usually it's because there's the 5 balls on the side that you're breaking from. One of them's loose, or you're hitting you're not making the right kind of hit on the cue, on the between the first ball and the second ball.
Right. I misspoke again. The corner ball that kicks towards your opponent's pocket. That's what I meant, the corner ball. It seems like it just jumps out of nowhere sometimes and just...
On diamond tables, it happens all the time, and I really don't know why it happens so much on diamond tables as opposed to Brunswicks. And especially newly recovered diamonds. Forever at the Derby City Classic, you're seeing people constantly sell out the corner ball to their opponent when they're breaking, and as a result, you'll see people that are less aggressive on their breaks there. And even I saw Buddy Hall in Baton Rouge. He had gone to breaking off of the last 2 balls and sending his cue ball up by the nameplate. That's how afraid he was of selling out the corner ball. So Brandon got out of the break by putting Alex on top of the pack, and then Alex got out of Brandon's shot by even burying him further in the pack. And so Brandon kind of got trapped by his own trap. He's got 4 balls on his side. Alex has got 3 on his. But Brandon has no way to take advantage of it right now. He may just have to take a foul and kind of jiggle these balls a little bit, so because that combination looks like it's getting close for it might be a combination billiard, but he really can't shoot it without fouling. So maybe you just take a little touch or just barely move the balls and 0-1. Looks like
I lost a tournament in a match last week because in that situation I moved 2 balls. You just have to take so much care because that one foul in that situation and the balls are open and you're in big trouble.
Yeah. He's Brandon, as DeLiberto says, he's playing safe on the wrong side of the balls. He's let Alex look at his pocket. While no ball goes straight there, he's probably going to wind up getting the worst of it. He's moving more balls to his side. He was trying to stick him behind the 8 ball, which would have put Brandon in a lot of trouble. But now Brandon can see those balls in front of Alex's hole, and he can get out of this trap here. You see right now only 2 balls go to Alex's side. The ball by the side pocket, which has kind of a narrow area where you have to be to make it, because it looks like you may be risking a scratch from some areas. And he's got those 2 balls, the 11 and 3, that are tied up. And if I was Brandon, I wouldn't move those balls because they don't go to Alex's hole. And I think he was getting ready to shoot at it, but then he realized that. So again, we don't have the best angle to see what all Brandon can shoot from his vantage point. And boy, that's what I call the rawhide shot. He just headed him up and moved out the whole herd, you know. Whew, what a shot by Brandon. Wow.
He left a bank, right? That's all.
He left the bank for Alex here. It's real close to the rail. Sometimes you get a double kiss out of this. Alex has chances to hide Brandon behind that 8 and 15 right there, but sometimes them balls leak out. So he went pretty much full out to make that 5 ball, and he was using those balls over there to slow him down, not to hide him. He was going all out to make the 5. Now, I can't tell whether there's 12 banks or the 4 banks, but looks like he's going to shoot at one of those. And can't tell whether he can see the 5 ball or not. But again, there's a lot of space on Alex's side that Brandon can get his cue ball, where Alex doesn't have a shot. It doesn't have a shot to make a ball at his hole. But again, what Brandon's trying to do is protect the balls on his side and put pressure on Alex by moving more balls to his side. Looks like he's trying to bank this 4 ball and just kind of ease into that stack without giving Alex a shot. Nope. Wow.
That's a nice shot. That would be nice to be able to do something like that every time. That would be fun.
Yeah, that was a super high-tech shot. He shot that bank with speed, and it looks like he used a little bit of right-hand English, so when the cue ball hit the side rail by Alex's pocket, it turned and then went down closer to the end rail than it would have normally been if he'd just been using straight high English.
Seems like the longer he takes, the more high-tech a shot you get. The ones he's taken a long time on, he's come with some really fancy stuff.
Again, like I say, he's given his brain a chance to work on the problem, you know, and to really nail it down. So Alex made a good shot there to make that ball and not sell anything out, but Brandon's got a lot stronger position, and Alex has actually ducked on the wrong side of the balls too. Looks like he's looking at 2-railing that 1 ball and trying to stick him behind the 13. Oh, he just rolled on it. Now again, Alex hasn't looked at it yet, but I'm sure he's well aware of it. He's real close to that one ball, and it's sitting in a good spot where he can bank it back to his hole if he feels the need. He's better than even money to make that bank if he chooses to. But it looks like he can see this 8 ball. He may be able to. He just soft kick. Took a foul there. He's putting it up on Brandon's side. Brandon says, "No way, that's your side. You took the foul." Don't hurt a guy for trying. But Alex took the foul there. It's not too bad. He's tied those 3 balls up. I don't know if that 9-5 combination is on or not. But for sure, the 8 ball won't carry him in off of the 1. And he's really kind of limited Brandon's options here. I think Brandon will probably just try to make that or hit that ball over by Alex's side pocket and kind of move towards the stack area to limit Alex's choices next time, and not see the 1, 8, and 9. Looks like he's even looking at banking the 7 ball back to his hole. But if he does that, it's not without risk. So he's hit it with pretty good speed. He wanted to get him on top of the 10 ball. But there's a lot of air between all those balls, and so Alex he's looking around to see if he can do something where he can move a ball or 2 balls to his side and stick up on top of those balls in the stack.
Now, when you hit a shot like that in this level of a game, you can almost call that a weak shot, can't you?
Well, it wasn't a weak shot, Mike, because it was weak only in the fact that he didn't get his cue ball over right on top of the 10 ball, which would really, totally restrict Alex's. But he was also aware that you can hit that shot and then sell out the 10 ball if you come up a little bit short. So the position dictated the fact that sometimes there just isn't a shot out there, and I mean a shot to be offensive. And so he had to play defense there. And he got 85% completion on his shot. He needed about, looks like 4 more inches to get 100%. So, but he's not in trouble. To me, it looks like he's not in trouble as far as losing or giving up a shot right there to Alex. But it's possible that he could get into a little trouble by not getting 100% completion on his shot. So it looks like Alex is trying to play the billiard off the 11-13 and then stick him on top of the 10 and 2 and just try to send that 11 ball over towards his hole. But he's real. There's not a lot of area to work with, and it's hard to see if he's going to clear the.
That wasn't what he hoped to do. I can't imagine.
Well, I'm guessing maybe he decided that he had to break up the 1-9 combination, and he did that, but he's also opened up all the balls for Brandon, but he also denied Brandon a shot, and Brandon's on a foul there. He'll spot a ball up. But this is the kind of situation right here where, Alex has been in spots like this before with balls real close to his hole, and so when he made that last shot, he knows he's going to be in trouble on the next shot, but he figures that he's got enough expertise that he'll be able to extricate himself from the trap.
As our friend Terry would say, he knows he's comfortable because he's been surrounded by Indians before.
Yes. But he's really got to come up with something here because he can't see the balls in front of Brandon's hole. Again, he has this one ball that he could bank, but when he does that, he's only looking at making one ball. It's a lot more. It's a lot easier to make this bank on the one ball if you're banking and going to get some balls afterwards. If he banks this one ball now, basically what he's looking at doing is banking the one ball and then moving that 8 and 11 ball away from Brandon's hole. The only ball he can conceivably play position on if he banked the one would be either the 4 or the 14. So what is he doing here?
Get behind that ball up there.
Just rolling on top of that ball.
Jay Hilford, he's on the ball.
Jay says, good shot. Now, hard to tell. It looks like that there's separation between that cue ball and that stripe up there, but it's hard to tell whether that ball will pass the 5 ball.
So how do you like that shot of all the opportunities he had there?
Well, I think that he had a chance. He had a chance if he just barely. The speed is so tough on that shot, and he hit it just a little bit hard. But if you come in and just barely hit the ball and hit the rail, it's a real good shot, you know. But unfortunately, it looks like he shot that ball where it's almost straight in. But again, I don't know whether the straight in shot will pass the 5 ball. So he's done a good job. I mean, Brandon ain't just running to the table and shooting that ball and running out because it looks like it doesn't go. So Alex got himself out of a real tight jam, and Brandon has to come with a shot now to keep Alex off from seeing those balls by his hole. And he hasn't done it. So Alex's game plan there has worked out for him. He's come back to the table and he's got a way better chance to move things away from his hole. Brandon has so many balls by his pocket right now that Alex really just doesn't worry. He isn't thinking about making balls. He's well, there he goes trying to make that ball. I didn't see that he had that angle. But trying to move the balls away from Brandon's hole and then start moving things to his. So Alex can see this ball on the end rail. He can either make it or two rail it out of there. I think if he tried to two rail it out of there, it hits the 5 ball off the second rail and then goes over towards Alex's side, but he would have given up a bank, an easy bank. So I think making the ball there was a good. But you see on Alex's side, there's no balls that are easy to make. He can only make the 1, 5, or 6 on his half of the table and up there. I think what Brandon's going to do here is bank the 4 ball and draw and try to stay on Brandon's side of the 7 ball up there on the nameplate. He can draw and try to spin back this bank or get it close to his hole. He could even try to shoot the 4 across table and then have it scrape off of the 10-2 and 14 there too, which makes it easier to control his cue ball. but he's starting to lose cover for his balls around his hole. And if this ball doesn't, is he trying to twist this in? If this ball doesn't go, he's going to lose his position.
English came off. Ball came off the wrong way.
Yeah. See, now Brandon's completely lost his position. You know, he doesn't really have any major threats against Alex. Alex has a lot of room to work with over there.
And it was that shot where Alex just bunted the ball up there behind that ball when he looked to be in so much trouble, held up the game for one shot, and he was able to poke away at it.
Mm-hmm.
People do that to me all the time, where I think I have them. They do some kind of shot that stops me for a little bit, and then I help them get back into the game.
See, if you go back to it, what Brandon could have done was probably just gone soft, played the super soft shot, and kept Alex behind that ball that's up there by Brandon's top corner pocket. Instead, he tried to play a shot where the cue ball moves like 8 feet and have it wind up at an exact spot where he wanted to. He could have played a shot that was going to move a half an inch, you know, and still kept cover for his balls by his hole. So Brandon, let's say Brandon really missed the chance there to lock him up and keep the pressure on Alex. And so Brandon, he's hit that ball real nice, but it's a super small target, just, you know, one ball wide. And Brandon only has 2 balls that are hanging out by his side. The 9 and the 4 there. Lots of space down there. Alex looks like he's going to try to cross over that 1 ball and stick him up on top of the 6-8. And then Alex will have either the 5 ball or the 6 ball to shoot if he makes this shot. The speed is real easy. You just roll the ball. He's got a lot of control on the shot. He's got the ball close to his hole. He's got Brandon behind the 6 ball. Brandon hasn't got any balls that he can shoot at his hole. So he gets 100% completion on that shot.
Now, at this point in the game, do players get a little unhappy because they had him and now they don't have him and now they have him? And so you get a little more frustrated to what you might do next? I mean, does it change? I wonder if it changes your game a little bit.
Yeah, it certainly does. You know, Brandon might go into a panic right here. I got to do something. I got to do something real drastic here. Well, the more experience you get and the calmer you stay, you got to just walk around the table. And Rod Thompson, a one-pocket player here in Phoenix area, he always said that he said, I know that guy plays good straight pull because he's always walking around a table. And so you just got to walk around the table and let your eyes see the different layouts, and all of a sudden ideas will come into your head about, oh, I can do this, I can do that.
When Brandon put the cue ball up against that 10 ball, he thought he was in good shape. And then Alex comes up and makes a simple shot, and he's locked up for good almost. And so, you know, he didn't anticipate what could happen by doing that. And that's the trouble I get into, where you hit a shot where you think you put them in kind of bad shape, but then they do something worse back to you because, you know, you didn't have a more high-tech shot, if you will.
Yeah. Roger Griffiths told me, he said, hey, sometimes you just get beat with championship shot, you know. But when you get balls over there in that bank lane, and it's only within the last couple of years that I've started to realize it, you have to pay attention to those for your opponent. You know, I used to always forget about those balls that are in easy bank lanes, like that 1 and the 5 were. And when you're deciding where you're leaving your cue ball for your opponent, so you have to look there and go, well, if I put him in real trouble, he's probably going to have a pretty easy bank here. And Brandon tried to rip that 1 ball out with the 5, but he missed it, missed the 1 ball. Here's Alex with the agonization.
He's really unhappy, so he's probably going to make 5 or 6 balls here.
I was almost thinking that from the spot he started, he should have crossed that 9 into that 1 ball. I'm not sure how far out that 1 ball was, but the prospects of getting a lot of balls from where he started from didn't look good by just shooting that ball straight in.
Well, he's got the 1 ball here. That one, I don't know what number it is. And then he has 2 other balls that he can get from there.
He's got the 14. He's going to run into the 4.
Oh, so he can't get by that.
What he'll probably try to do is play with draw and hit the 4 and make it hit the side rail and come back over to his hole. That's a real common shot for running balls in 1 pocket. Not sure what he was thinking about there. Something surprised him about that shot. He was replaying it in his head. So he's got a bank on the 9 ball. I think he'll try to go to the rail and develop that 4 ball. I don't think he's going to use it to slow his cue ball down. I think he's going to try to develop it so that he can make it in his hole. No, I'm wrong again. He's made the bank.
Must be something in there.
Hard to tell how much space there is between that 12 and 15. They appear to be frozen from this angle. Oh, looks like he's thinking about cutting the 15 into the 10 ball.
That would be an advanced shot.
And he's thinking about the speed on the shot for how much speed he has to use to get his cue ball back to get back up for the 2 if he makes the combination. But if he misses the shot, if he misses the 10 ball, he's going to sell a bank out on either the 10, the 15, or the 2. So it's a high-tech shot.
He's highly interested. He's not shaking his head.
He wants to win here. He wants to get it over right now. He owes 1 ball. Made it look easy. It was a high-tech shot, but he's a high-tech technician.
Yeah, he wasn't shaking his head or moping around. He was just figuring out how to make it. So he wasn't as unhappy with life as he has been from many balls.
So there's 10 on the table and 1 in Brandon's pocket. Alex has 4, and he needs to get 5 more.
Seems like he has to get up table somehow.
Well, I think that he can either go cross table and try to get on the 4 or just draw back and get on the 4. It's hard to tell. He looks like he's straight in or just a little bit on top of being straight in. But I think he's going to try to get the 4 next.
Man, he didn't have a lot of room to work with there.
No, super speed kept him. He was going straight at that side pocket, but he had the super speed where he didn't go too far. Oh, and he forgot. I forgot I had to spot a ball. So he's left Brandon with a little starter kit. But this shot is confusing for 1 pocket players because you've got this ball. It looks pretty easy right there, but you've also got that 4 ball sitting over there by Alex's pocket, and so you start thinking, am I just trying to make this 10 ball? Should I try to make this 10 ball and make the 4 ball at the same time? Or should I try to make the 10 ball and rip the 4 ball or play position down table? And so you get a little confusion.
He's confused now.
And so it really, I think what you need to do there is you need to take a little time and really cement in your head what you're going to do with that shot. You know,
Well, he got 2/3 of what he wanted there, but
he got 2/3 and a bad third. So Alex has 5. He needs 3. I don't know if he's setting up for the. I think he's going to probably try to draw back and make that. Is he going over for the? Yeah, he's going to go over for the 8 and 6.
is that John Henderson in the white beard? His beard's not that long.
No, I don't think that's John. Well, it looks like he was trying to draw back for the 5, but he ran right into the 5.
When he shakes his head and smiles at the same time, that's when he's the most upset.
Yeah.
Filipino smile.
He did that little hand movement on the back of his head like Efren does when he touches the back of his shoulder to get the monkey off his back or the dog off his back.
That wasn't a very good shot there.
So Brandon's down 6-0. He may be able to bank this 6 ball towards his hole.
And he's not very happy.
He has no prospects of. He could actually cut the 9 ball down the rail. He could move the 8 ball out, but he doesn't have any prospects of getting running a lot of balls right now. So he's just going to move this 8 ball. Looks like he's trying to kick it out. No.
Now, is there enough balls there that Alex can bank one here?
So we got 4 in a line there. Alex could, he could bank that 8 ball. I think he wants to move that 1 and 9 off of Brandon's side. They're sticking out in case Alex scratches. Those balls are real close to the headstring where Brandon would have easy shots. He's gonna consolidate these balls and get them tough so that Brandon can't run, and then he's gonna, once he gets them in the area that he likes, then he's gonna start shooting at his hole. He only has to get 2, and he's gonna make Brandon have to bank 8 balls to win.
I would have never considered that idea. That's very smart. Wish I thinking about what's in front of the headstring.
And every time Brandon banks to his hole, if he doesn't make it, he's given Alex a chance to cross bank to his hole. And Alex, when he only needs 2 and Brandon has to do that 8 times, Alex is going to have a, real strong chance to win. So he's going to just move this 9 ball away, but you can't let your cue ball go because if it starts to come up, then Brandon has a chance to bank that 8 ball.
Is that the 6 ball? I'd be thinking about banking the 6 ball.
Yeah, I don't think it. I'm surprised here. It looks like he's going to. Oh, he's going to bank the 5 ball. There's separation between the 5 and the 1 up there, so he can hold the cue ball. By after hitting the 5, it'll run into the 1 and it'll stop, and he can bank the 5 to his hole. The 1 may even 2 rail over to Alex's side.
Oh, how about that? That works.
Perfecto. So Alex needs 1 ball. And again, he's got to protect from letting his cue ball leak up where Brandon can bank that 8 ball. So what is he going to do? He just shot the same shot. Oh, my goodness. He tried to shoot the same shot that Brandon did when Brandon moved that ball away from Alex's hole. But
That's about the loosest shot we've seen him shoot.
yeah. Well, it wasn't. Yeah, he didn't take the time and care on that shot. This ball, I believe, is cuttable, the 4 ball, and it will open them balls up. And so Brandon, he plays a lot of 9 ball, and he's not averse to cutting this ball in. But he says, hey, I'm gonna shoot this shot, and I'm gonna open these balls up, and I may have a chance to get 4 or 5 balls here and get back in this game. So he's taken it, executed the shot great. He was unsure where the balls were going to wind up, and they didn't wind up in a good spot. It could have come out better for him, but I like his shot choice there. He's confident in making that shot. So now there was nothing out there for him. He's just got to just play real safe shots. They're going to be playing a couple of shots to get the balls up table.
It's hard to cover all the bank lanes when your opponent needs one.
Yes, he's got a really tough problem. The key is getting down here on the end rail so he can't bridge.
There's one right there.
He didn't get his cue ball back down. He can bank the 7.
What percentage do you think on this shot?
I'm going to say probably it's a little different, 40% right there.
Didn't twist.
Yeah. Left Brandon a bank. Can't really tell whether there's a kiss in it. Also, there's a chance of going up too high and selling out the 13 ball. But this ball looks to be in a tough position where if you try to drive it out of there, you might even jaw it up. Sometimes you make mistakes. You might go through it and scratch. If you bank it, there might be a double kiss. So he picked a nice solution. He put a lot of spin on that ball so that his cue ball wasn't going straight up and down where he'd sell out the 13. And he got rewarded for it. Almost thought he was going to sell out the 9, but it stuck behind the 8. So Alex is up 7-1, and Brandon's got 1 ball by his hole, and Brandon's prospects for running a lot of balls from this position or from his next incoming position isn't so good. So Alex just needs to find a shot that'll limit Brandon's reap on the next time he comes to the table. He doesn't want to foul here and put another ball in play and go down. So I think he's looking at trying to put balls in good banking lanes, so that after Brandon makes the 7 ball and shoots another shot, that maybe Alex will have a nice bank back at his hole. It looks like if he shoots this way and goes easy off of the 8, he could make a mistake and sell out a couple balls up there. Huh. What a shot. Very, very risky, because the cue ball could easily just come off that shot and go into the corner pocket too. That the kind of shot you want to leave to Alex, and you don't want to try it home without a helmet.
I was thinking he could just go off the 8 into the 2 inches to the rail and off back behind the 8.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of looking at too. But I think he wasn't on top of that 8 the right way. I mean, Alex had one good thing he did was he tied those balls up in Brandon's banking lanes up there. So Alex has two open balls, or he's sharing a 6 ball that's open for Brandon to bank. But the 13 ball still looks real good to bank back at Alex's hole.
I'm starting to think there's not that many options to think right now. Okay, thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon's got to look at. He's trying to play position on these balls, and I think it's a lot better with this ball so close to the pocket. There's not a lot of things you can do. He needs to either look at playing position where he can bank the 6 or to bank the 13. I'm not sure whether the 13 banks past the 6 to the corner pocket, but he needs to be thinking about playing position for a bank as opposed to a straight in shot.
He went high tech. But he was trying to break those balls up.
Yeah, and see now he's got up there where he can make the 6, but now his cue ball's going all over the place. When you're playing position to get to those banks, you have a lot more control of your cue ball. He probably should bank this 13 ball.
Nothing turned out right there.
No. So Alex is looking to see if he can cut the 13. Nope, he's going to go down here and he's going to cross this 6 ball. Real high percentage bank, and his cue ball is going up there and with those 4 balls, and he has a good prospect of hiding Brandon. No, he played away from those balls.
Why isn't that a kiss? Why don't you kiss on that shot? Looks like it was straight into the.
See, Brandon got it out of there, but Alex got a real nice bank right here. If he chooses to take it on, probably going to have to play a withdrawal because you don't want to sell the 6 ball out. Of course, he 2 rails it in. That little extra speed, it takes away some of your English. You know, it doesn't allow your English to bite as hard on that ball, and then cuts down that angle. So if Alex could have rolled that ball, he would have been a much higher percentage to bank it.
Okay, I'm ready to put the shot clock on Brandon.
Hey, this is 1 pocket. You've been watching 9 ball too much. So what he's going to try to do here is go off that 1 and stick him behind them balls. He made the 8, so now they're doubled up on the spot. But what he was trying to accomplish there was to get those balls open where in case he gets a shot, he can start banking and running balls to his hole. But it looks like he's let Alex see that 9 ball, and Alex is he's going to shoot it to win.
Okay, 2 games to 1. What's Jay talking about? Well, I think this had to do with they're playing a tournament at the same time, a 10-ball tournament at the same time. And he wanted him to either go to a players' meeting or something like that. I think they're basically going to tell him, no, Jay, we're not going to do that.
So here comes the Shuff. Which way is he going to? He's going to break to this time. See if he changes pockets like Alex did. Nope, he's going to stay with the same pocket. He may be cleaning the ball off, or he may just be doing that to gather himself, you know.
Yeah.
Pumping himself up. Come on, let's fight. Let's fight. I got to go. I'm down 2-1. Here we go. Good break. Good break.
Can I start again?
Worst case scenarios happened.
There's that ball that we were talking about earlier. Just jumps out of nowhere.
At the most inopportune times. So Alex is looking at the rack, see which kind of balls go. Does he have any dead balls?
You might have some.
He's trying to plan out how he's going to run these balls. Looks like for sure he can, the 13 ball goes, which is on the bottom of the stack. Maybe a little tough to get there, I don't know. He's got there. He's got a real workable angle that he can do some stuff with. He just has to decide how he wants to attack the balls and whether the balls are going to cooperate with him or not. One thing he doesn't want to do is get himself on the wrong side of the balls where he can't see that 10 ball. You know. So he hasn't left himself a shot. The 10 ball possibly banks. But I don't think you can hit it with a lot of speed. I think you have to kind of slow twist this ball to get it to go.
He's shaking his head, so I think there's a good chance it might go.
But I think that if he does make it with the... It doesn't... He looked like he was going to hit that real firm. He doesn't want to let Brandon have the ability to bank that 4 ball if he doesn't make any balls.
Yeah, he really opened up the rack with that last shot.
Yeah, if he makes a mistake here and Brandon gets something in, I mean, it's going to be 2-2 in a hurry. So a real crucial shot here. And he's hit it real nice. He was playing cue ball all the way. Got the cue ball up behind the 5. So Brandon has no banks. It doesn't look like Brandon can see that 1 ball. So it doesn't look like there's anything real positive for Brandon to do to move balls away from Alex's side. He's just got to play the soft tickies. Did he hit that 5 ball? Nope. It's a little careless there. He's a little down in the dumps. It looks like down 2-1. He sold out his break ball. Alex has got 2 balls, and he wants to shoot at his hole. He can't, and so he didn't take the right care in executing that shot. And Alex is looking to see what balls will bank if he leaves Brandon over there by that 5 ball. Alex may try to bank that 5 ball off that stripe, either go into the stripe or go rail first and then into the stripe and then stick his cue ball there. But again, this game could go either way right now with the balls as wide open as they are. So
First missed shot.
yeah. See, now if you're this type of game, if you have 2 players that are, that are newer, less experienced one pocket players, this becomes an easy game because all you do is just shoot off of the 5 ball and go to the middle of the end rail. But both of these and just send the balls up table. But these guys don't want the balls to go up table. They want them to stay down table in an open positions where if they throw a bank in or the other guy makes a mistake, they can get all the balls off the table. Because defense is the easiest thing to do. That's an easy shot as opposed to trying to make a ball from that position that he just started at.
They both tied up with their last 2 shots. They played that defense, but they both tied up each other's side a little bit when doing that.
Yeah, the balls are getting a little bit restricted, but they're still staying down table. So he's really, really searching for a solution. There's just not a lot of good places to hide the cue ball. That's why you just have to stir the balls up a little bit and maybe some little secret nook and cranny will develop that you can put your cue ball in. He could possibly spin off this 10 ball and try to stick his cue ball between the 6 and 13. He just took a straight foul on that.
Trying to force his opponent to take a hard shot.
Yep. So real nice shot for Alex there. Now he's got Brandon jacked up shooting over a ball. Brandon's going to break his balls out. Okay, now see, Alex, by spotting that ball up, Alex has developed a little wall there. Okay? Now he can see that, let's call it the 11 ball, and he can, like, 2-rail it to his side and stick Brandon back on that, or try to 2-rail that ball into some balls and move him to his side and stick Brandon on that little wall there.
Trying to cover his balls and not give up a bank.
Not give up a bank. And now, Brandon can go off of that bottom ball that's closest to the spot there. But he would break up that little wall there that Alex is trying to take advantage of. But he's also moving balls closer to Alex's hole if he does that. If you see all those balls that are on Brandon's side of the table, they all go into Brandon's side. Like if Alex banks that 3-ball up table, he's only got the 2, 15, and 10 that would go, but all of those balls in that little line, they all go in Brandon's hole. Now Alex, I think, is going to go soft off a ball and back into that 6 and 11, or maybe that's it. Yeah. He's really limited Brandon's opportunities or his shot selection. Plus, he's forcing him to jack up. He's going to have to stretch over the table. He's going to just take a. Oh no, he hit that ball, but carelessness again. He's losing his focus. Brandon's just losing his focus.
Not happy.
You know, maybe he's thinking about this match. He's down 2-1, and the balls are like this, and they called him to play in that 10-ball tournament. Maybe he's thinking, maybe I ought to just go play 10-ball. You know. But you see, Brandon ducked on the wrong side of the balls, and so now Alex has a chance to bank this ball to his hold, if not make it, get it close, and he's got all that congestion there that's hiding Brandon.
However unhappy he was last time around, he's a little more.
He's even more unhappy. And now Alex has more balls that go in his hole. Brandon has less balls that go in his hole. And he's hidden by the stack. But he's got lots of places to hide his cue ball here. But he looks like he's going to take a bank at this 1 ball and try to come back down to. I don't know if he can get by the side pocket or not. I think he wants to bank this ball and draw back down to right where his right hand is right now, so that he can bank the 5-ball next if he makes it. But I can't tell whether he can get down or not with his cue ball. But he's kind of tired of ducking and moving with Alex Pagulayan.
Yeah, you just see that someone's gonna break loose. And the thing about it is, you know, Brandon Shuff is one of the best 1-pocket players in the United States, and he's getting sort of frustrated because Alex keeps getting an advantage on him.
Yeah, and it's not about shooting; it's about thinking. You know, Alex is thinking of more powerful shots. So let's see what he did there.
Ooh, he's on the left of not such a good spot.
Now he may have stacked Alex up on all those balls where Alex doesn't have a free or straight shot to his hole.
But still, he's giving up that side of the table.
He's ducked on the wrong side again.
Alex is thinking about banking that ball and bringing the cue ball down.
No, it looks like he's going to try to play some combination and go behind the 1 ball with his cue ball, either 1 rail or straight draw.
Game time. Just throw everything at the pocket and hope one of them goes in.
Yeah, they were all going that way.
And that's just because of being on that side of the table.
Yep.
That allows that to happen.
Yep.
I think Brandon just got tired of playing.
Yep. So Alex has 2, and he needs 6. He's a champion, so he's going to take his time, walk around the table, figure out how he wants to run these balls. Less accomplished players, they run and shoot this combination as fast as they can, and then they get maybe one ball after that.
Hey, that's rude to talk about me like that.
So walk around, figure out your plan, take your time, and get all the balls.
Ooh. That could have been part of the plan. He heard you.
The best laid plans of mice and men. I think he can get up on that 4.
Or any of these other balls.
Yeah, the position of the balls overpowered Alex's ability to not run them. A little bit weak there. So that's going to do it.
Well, it's interesting. I think the interesting thing to me about this one was the amount of thought that the top players put into a game like this. You know, they were all, for most part, they were slow, deliberate, thinking of many different shots, coming up with a lot of shots after thinking so much about it.
Well, they they always talk about in on for sports like the pro level sports where when the rookies come up and they always say they have to find a way to slow the game down, and what you got to do, because when you're playing out there, it seems like you got to go real fast, and you got to slow the game down and think about what you're going to do.
All right. Thanks, Trace. We'll do it again.
All right, thank you, Mike.